Tom Brady is absolutely ridiculous. His best games ever are even more ridiculous. We are going to be looking back when he threw 5 touchdowns in one quarter and when he threw a career-high 517 yards in one game. So stick around and we'll look at Tom Brady's best games ever in his GOAT career. Let's go! We all know Brady as the GOAT, the Super Bowl winning machine, and in the last few years that would be considered end of career years for most quarterbacks, Brady has managed to win 4 Super Bowls since the age of 37. But he did put up some absolutely ridiculous stats in his 20s and 30s, which were his physical prime, that even Patrick Mahomes dreams of. Which brings us to the first game we're looking at, when he threw 5 touchdowns in one quarter in 2009 versus the Titans, in a freaking snowstorm. First off, it was unseasonably cold, with the snow falling steadily, even though it was 2 weeks before Halloween.
An unexpected winter scene in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
That sure didn't help the then lowly Titans, but Brady made their day worse with perhaps his finest passing afternoon maybe ever, throwing 6 touchdowns in a record 5 in one quarter. 2 years earlier during the 2007 season, Brady had thrown 5 touchdown passes in one first half of a beatdown of the Miami Dolphins, which this is a game we're happen to be looking at later. But on this day, 2 years later, he only need one freaking quarter to throw 5 touchdown passes, ripping the Titans secondary to shreds in the second quarter. Brady connected twice with Randy Moss for scores of 40 and 28 yards, with one coming on a flea flicker, twice to Wes Welker for 5 and 30-yard receptions, and once to running back Kevin Falk for a 38-yard touchdown reception. By the end of the 3 quarters, Brady had passed for 380 yards and 6 touchdowns in what became a 59-0 rout, so lopsided that even the backup quarterback Brian Hoyer got in the action, running in the game's final score in the fourth quarter after relieving Brady. Belichick's defense did help out a lot, allowing -7 passing yards on the Titans' offense on 14 total pass attempts. Not to mention that happens to be the biggest blowout in the Super Bowl era. Brady completed 85.2% of his passes, 29 of 34, and posted a quarterback rating of 152.8. Don't ask me why it wasn't a perfect rating of 158.3, because I've never really understood that anyway. And if you think that performance by the GOAT was impressive, just wait, I have plenty more coming, and you will not be disappointed watching to the end. The next thrashing takes place in Week 1, 2011, at Miami. This is a game where Tom Brady threw for a career-high 517 yards when he had lost in the playoffs the year previous to the New York Jets, after being Super Bowl favorites and an NFL best 14-2 record. Brady had something to prove after this disappointing loss.
Know your teams on Monday nights, the Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots.
The game started with a touchdown drive from both teams, followed by a 10-yard Rob Gronkowski touchdown that basically ended the highlights in the first half, as neither team could gain any momentum against their division rival. The second half began with defensive end Jared Odrick picking off a deflected pass to set up a Miami touchdown, and end Brady's NFL record streak of 358 passes without an interception. Brady sitting on the bench, his sweat-soaked hair hanging in his face as he fumed about his first interception in nearly 11 months, which clearly brought out a side of Tom Brady no opposing team ever wants to see. A little later, he was back in the same seat wearing a huge grin after scoring 2 touchdown passes to Aaron Hernandez and Wes Welker. Then the Patriots lined up on their own 1-yard line. Brady hit Wes Welker on a fly route down the seam, and the wide receiver ran it 99 yards to the house to cap off one of Brady's best games ever. The Patriots won 38-24, and Brady registered a 121.6 passer rating and finished less than 40 yards away from the single-season passing record with 517 passing yards. Brady just happened to do a similar performance to the Dolphins in 2007, when he went 16-0 for the first time in NFL history, shredding the Dolphins secondary. Brady completed his first 11 passes for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. He finished the first half with 5 passing touchdowns, and one was a 50-yard bomb coming on 3rd and 18 and was caught by Hall of Famer Randy Moss. Brady closed the game with 6 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. rings. Those guys make the plays, Brady said. I'm just throwing it. They're making my job awful easy. Brady had 27 touchdown passes after this game in the first 7 games and was on pace to set the NFL record, which he did set that season with 50 touchdown passes, taking the NFL record set by Peyton Manning in 2004, although Peyton Manning did take it back. In this game, Brady completed 21 of 25 passes for 354 yards in his 49-28 game with Miami. And man, did Tom Brady age like fine wine, but he did put up some insane numbers in his physical prime. Oh, did I mention he has 7 Super Bowl rings? This list doesn't even include the 28-3 victory or the time when he beat Mahomes 31-9 or his other 5 rings or all his other, at least it seems like, hundreds of playoff wins. Let me know what I missed and I'll catch you guys next time.